Kickass Part 1, page 45 analysis. The narrator is a first-person narrator who is Kickass himself, and on page 4 and 5 he introduces himself because we see him as the hero first and then the ordinary guy. It begins with a setting in a dark warehouse on page 4, and then on page 5 we have the ordinary school life, and these two are contrasts.
When you look at the composition, the first page is the present, and then it takes a step back and looks at what led up to that point, where it starts at the beginning, where he introduces himself in his normal life at his school, where he talks about something about his more personal sides. And this also has a connection with the time in between, where on the first page it's in the present, but then between the ending of the fourth page and the beginning of the fifth page, it actually goes back in time. Also, other examples of time in between is the torture scenes, where in the very first picture he's screaming, and in the next picture it is seen again where it's a little bit further away, but it seems to be at the same time.
Then we have the grid, where the first page we have 5 panels and it's 2, 1, 2. And then on the second page we have 4 panels in total, and they're all 1, 1, 1, 1. And then we have speech bubbles and caption boxes. With the caption boxes the narrator introduces himself and he talks to the reader directly. And with the speech bubbles there are on page 4 one of the bad guys talks, and there's red around the speech bubble, which can symbolize something like blood or show that the guy is angry.
And when you look at the colors as a whole, on the first page there's a lot of blue and red. There's the blue being the electricity that he's been put to, and the red with the blood coming from his mouth, and the color of the bad guy's suits has a faint scent of red, and of course the red text on the speech bubble. And those colors are very dramatic, which also helps show the seriousness of the situation. On the other hand, the school situation is very yellow, and there's not really a lot of color going on. It's a lot of yellow and brown, and it's a lot more peaceful and ordinary. Also, there's motion lines. In the first panel you see him screaming, and there's some motion lines around his head symbolizing that the sound waves coming from the scream. But also on the third panel where he's shaking, you can clearly see some motion lines that indicate that. And also on the fourth panel you see a silhouette of him, where it's first the white silhouette, and then you see him go further back as his normal self, which indicates that there has been a motion.